Okay, this is Jonathan going through the code of hand-in number 5 procedural programming. First I'm going to start off with showing how my game works, and then afterwards go through every single line of code, or approximately every single line of code. Yes, let's first start to initiate my game. Successfully built, and it works like this. I have my let me just zoom in. Okay, I have my hero or character here, which I move through the game. Then I have mines inside here, and if I walk into a mine, it's gonna make sure that my hero loses some health. Then I have just to make the mine is of course an enemy, and what I have over here is another kind of enemy, which is actually made as a struct. I'm gonna return to that later, but this is an enemy I will have to defeat in order to finish the game. And I move up and down sequentially by pressing W for up, S for down, A for left, and D for right, and then I have to press enter in order to move him around, or you can say that's moving on to the next sequence. And here I have the controls, as you can see here, and some information that you should be aware of the mines and don't attack them, and you shouldn't attack the troll from the top, and this will then generate that your hero will lose some health, and you can then attack him from the bottom, and by doing this you get some extra health, and at the same time the troll will also lose some of his health. Let me just demonstrate the different things. So if I walk into a mine, then my health decreases with 25 points. Then we move on, and if I attack the troll from the bottom, the troll loses 75 points, but if I attack him from the top, I lose 25 points. And in order to finish this, I must attack the troll from the bottom 5 times in order for him to lose his 100 points. So like this, walk back and forth, and I finish the game. Yes. So now we'll run through the code showing what generates the different things in my output. First I include the IO stream because this is the library I'm using. I'm using namespace HTTP because it's a standard language. First I'm starting off with creating a structure, a hero, and this structure will have all the, what can you say, sort of characteristics my hero will need. For example, health level, and then X and Y variables, which I will use to control him. This will make more sense later when I get to confer now. And here's my main function. And first you can see that I have the text inside my game. Are you able to get out of here? It's sort of initial text. And whoa. As you can see up here, my structure was called hero. Then I create an object name that's actually a variable of the data type hero, so it means it's able to consist the same type of data types that you have inside my structure. And then I have some initial health, jack.health. I had the health variable up inside of my structure, so I'm referring to this one. My initial health is 100, and my start position is going to be 1, or the X coordinate is going to be 1, and the Y coordinate is going to be 0. And then I've also created enemy, which was my troll, which where I also used some of the information I had inside of my hero structure. I also give him some health and the start position. But actually this enemy stationary, doesn't move. I've just left him one place. Then I'm moving down to how my level looks. This is how I've constructed my level out of a character maze. It's actually a two-dimensional maze, and this is referring to the x-axis, which is here, and then the y-axis, which is going down. Moving on. I then need to, then you can see I put in a hashtag and space, and this is the symbol. The hashtags are representing my my walls. The 0 is a mine. You're not able to see the troll on this map because he is something I have placed with you by using some of the instructions I have inside of my struct. So I need to print all this out so it makes sense in a way into my output. And first I make sure to make a character key which starts in from 0, and this will so it's 0 to start with, but I'm actually using this key to stop the game if I press Q and enter, and this is done by a while loop. This is actually what controls the main control flow of the whole game. It starts from here and then goes all the way down to the end of my code. All the way down here. While again. So if I press Q enter, this will stop the game. And by the use of a for loop, actually two for loops, this one controls my y coordinates, shooting out all the y coordinates and all the x coordinates, and this if loop, or not if loop, if statement controls my character to control along the x and y coordinates inside the maze. What is then down here is actually if Jack is moving on the x and y coordinates on the maze, he will be shown as a smiley face because I have said that he should be printed out as a character 2, and character 2 is a smiley face in the ASCII table. And my mine object should be printed out as this symbol, which actually the funny thing about this is that he almost always changes every time I try to print out the game. But so it's always a random character that is printed out into my output. This next statement right here, actually further up x, mine x, and x, yx, further up I have decided what his position should be, as you can see here. So this makes sense down here. Alright, and this else if statement is maze xy. If it is shown as a hashtag, it should be printed out as the ASCII number for a wall, which is 178. If there is a space, it should be printed out as a space according to the ASCII table. And if it's a O, it should be 64, which was W. Yeah, no, not a W. It was a at character. Yes, moving on. Here I have some more text showing controls and other information like move up with W, move with down with S, and so on. Beware of the mines and don't attack them. This is actually all the information you need. It also prints out an overview of your health and the troll's health right here. As I said before, this was an object name and has a connection to the health variable. Both has a connection to the health variable, and both also had a predefined initial value. And now we move down to control of our character, this if statement initializes that if key, and this is a keyword you use for if the S key is printed, then Jack should move 1 plus coordinate, and this will make him move down. And if Jack's y coordinate or x coordinate is equal to where there is a wall, then he will do the exact opposite, which means that he won't move, he's just gonna stand still. And if he's gonna move into a mine, once again, if Jack's coordinate, x coordinate and y coordinate is close to a mine, or not close to a mine, is exactly on a mine, he's gonna lose 25 points. And while this happens, there will be not only will he lose his health, there will also into the output there will be printed lives left, and then what Jack's current life is at that particular point when he hits the mine. And the next thing here is if Jack's y coordinate is equal to the mine's y coordinate, when he's moving